What's up, everybody? This is Colin from Holistic Heritage Homestead. Hope you all are well. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a really affordable and easy compost ring. Very, very simple. I don't want you to overthink this, folks. We like simple and we like affordable. So essentially, just so you know what this is and what this could be used for, you could put this around certain plants to protect them naturally, like I showed you in the I believe the strawberry video, or rather the sweet potato video. I was showing you the strawberries, how we just cover it with hardware cloth and it keeps birds and pests out. However, for us, this main purpose of this is going to be composting. This is going to be input one, or stage one of our composting system. And we're going to be doing what we're very proud of is our chicken run design video. We're going to show you the whole chicken run and how this plays an important part of that, which feeds our composting system. Hopefully we'll finish that video this week. So essentially we're just going to be composting inside of this, and we're going to be feeding the chickens on top of this. So nothing gets wasted, folks. If there are any scraps that they don't like or they don't want, if there's excess, I just cover it with carbon. I keep layering it like a giant lasagna, okay, with nutrition. So this is going to go into the coop. All right. All you need for this is hardware cloth. I recommend 1/2 inch or 1 inch. I prefer the 1/2 inch because it's smaller holes. And that's going to do a couple of things, folks. One, it's going to keep out all the critters you don't want in there for the most part. And number two, it's actually going to give you the perfect size where it's going to hold everything inside the container where you want it naturally. If something does get small enough to fall through the sides, that's okay. It's just building life around the compost ring, and I could always scoop that up and throw that right back on top, which is good because that's going to be activated compost that I'm going to be just constantly mixing in. So it's really fun. It gives the chicken something to scratch in. And we leave the bottom completely open. And the reason why we do that is we want all the biota, all the earthworms, all the pill bugs, all the bacteria, the protozoa, the nematodes, the endo and ecto mycorrhizae, all that stuff. You know, we want that to migrate into this. So we want that to start to actually break down. So this is stage one, without getting too much into the composting system, because I want to really just focus on how to build this. That's why we leave it open. And the second compost bin, just so you know, when it comes time for our 90-day aging, we like to do 90 age because if it has animal manure, we want to make sure anything that could be compromised in there is clean and safe and aged and cured. I'm not condoning or encouraging you to, but I mean, do your research and see if it's safe. But I know a lot of people that use it way before 90 days. And there's ways of doing this for like in 21 days and stuff like that. But we want this to be an aerobic pile, so it actually starts to heat up here. It's also going to give the chickens a nice warm sauna, if you will, outside. And that will actually stay warm and active all winter long, which is pretty cool. So we recommend leaving the one in your chicken coop run, or whatever your feeder or your stage one compost pile is, leave it open on the bottom. Again, when it comes time to age this and I want to keep all animals and all pests and all critters out, I would literally just make a giant circle of hardware cloth and put it on the bottom. I would then cover the top of this with a tarp or some type of plastic to prevent the sunlight from damaging it and or leaching out too much nitrogen. So all you do is you buy the hardware cloth, and what's really, really cool about this is nothing gets wasted, folks. You don't waste things. There's no such thing as waste on a homestead, and really shouldn't be anywhere. Wherever you live, you shouldn't waste. You should always try to upcycle and recycle, save money, save the environment, make life easy. So when you buy this hardware cloth, it actually comes wrapped in the packaging with this awesome wire. Never throw that away. Anytime you get strong, solid steel wire, you could use this for a million things. If I wasn't even composting, this whole, again, I could use this to protect my plants. I could do so many things with this. But never save that wire. And all you do is you cut it. I recommend getting and again, this is a cheap thing, very cheap, as a one-time investment, something like this, an angle grinder. We like the 4.5 inch. These work really good. Safety, safety, safety. This will spark when you cut this hardware cloth, so your goggles and all that. Don't be me. I feel like as my son grows up, I'm going to be constantly saying, do as I say, not as I do, because I tend to get overzealous. And just don't be me, folks. Wear some gloves, okay? This stuff is very sharp on the business end of things. you know, and it will cut you. See this? That will slice you open real nice. My hands can show you. Wear gloves, okay? This angle grinder, actually, I need to fix a small part of it, so I actually just use some cheap dollar store kind of snips or shears, if you will, and just work my way right down, cut it. I have an overlap, and all I do is I weave it. I take that awesome steel wire and I weave it. No plastic, no zip ties. Ooh, plastic, disgusting, toxins, chemicals, right? But obviously zip ties will work, folks, and it'll be nice and easy. You could do that as well. I recommend just cutting off the excess. The business end of it or the sharp ends of it, I leave on the outside so it's not really going to get to the animals. Just be conscious of that. We don't want to poke them, even though they're more careful than we could ever be. And I just kind of just weave it into an X, up, down, and across, transverse, a few times at like 4 or 5 different spots. Took me like 10 minutes to do this, probably 15 minutes altogether. That's including the cutting. And you are ready to rock. Now you have to do is just fill this thing up. That's it. Buy some hardware cloth, 1/2 inch, 1 inch if you have to. But again, the 1/2 inch is better because that's what we're gonna sift. Once it goes into the second one of these rings, which is gonna have a bottom to keep all the critters out, and it's gonna be, they can't get through this. Not even mice can get through that. It's too small. I've experimented with this. They don't. Nothing gets in there. Plus, if you're adding enough carbon, they're not even going to smell this or look at this as a food source because it's going to be unrecognizable. And everything essentially goes into the center. So that's it. Get some hardware cloth. Save that steel wire. Weave it in and out. Be safe. Be careful. Wear gloves. And if you're using the angle grinder, definitely wear some goggles, folks. Just do yourself a favor. It's not worth it. And be careful. So again, I'm looking forward to showing you how we work this into our system and how we feed the animals right in the middle. It is such a cool system. Stay tuned this coming week for our chicken run design video. And there's so many systems. That video could be hours longer, a whole playlist if I wanted, but we're going to try to make it short and just get to the nitty gritty of the meat and potatoes, if you will. All right, the most important stuff. But if you haven't had a compost system going, with or without animals, this is a great affordable thing. You don't have to buy those containers that turn. This will turn itself. And what's awesome about this, it's open, it's porous. You have oxygen going in through the sides and throughout. And if you really want to get technical, you could put something in the middle to keep an open hole and let it get oxygen that way. It's perfect. It's perfect. And I hope you folks give this a shot. You know, hardware cloth is a little more expensive than we'd like it, but it's something you can use over and over again, and it's shapeable and malleable and cuttable, and just you could reuse this for a million things. Again, I'm going to do so many videos on how hardware cloth is just way better than chicken wire and pretty much anything. And I'm not worried, again, just one more point, and we'll touch base in the chicken design video, is I'm not worried about critters getting under here and burrowing underneath and making homes in there, because actually our entire chicken run and coop has a hardware cloth skirt around the bottom, so it's actually impossible for anything to get in there anyway. So that's my backup plan, is the whole run itself is protected and nothing's going to get in there. So I'm not worried about anything like that happening inside the chicken run. When it's taken out of the run and I age it separately because I can't have it near the animals, again, to age that manure, a little more cloth. It's not going to cost you too much money, folks. One-time investment. Good luck. Give it a shot. Let me know what you like to make your compost rings out of, or your containers, or your... I'm really curious because I love learning from you folks. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And happy composting. Take care.